about checking in on your Democratic friends. These Negroes who went out here, some of them with good intentions, but these Negroes who went out here, family, and voted for the Democratic Party, I've been telling you to check on them. Check on them, man. Make sure they're all right, because these Negroes who voted for the Democrats, these Congressional Black Caucus Negroes, they are taking a massive L right now. They have voted for their own demise. They have twerked their way. They have eaten their way into their own demise, family. Okay? Their own demise. Now let's recap. Let's recap, family. Now, Jim Crow Joe and Kamami Harris, they've been in office for roughly about 10 months now, and they've done absolutely nothing for Black people other than pass a meaningless Juneteenth holiday. Okay? They allowed us to do something that we were already doing. Meanwhile, they have given tangibles and allocated resources to every other group of people, even people, family, who are not citizens of the United States. Okay? Afghan refugees have gotten more tangibles than foundational Black Americans have gotten in 400 years in this country. They have allocated 6.3 billion, I think it was, to Afghan refugees who are not even citizens of this country, who have nothing to do with the makeup of this country, who did not lift one brick to build this country, who have not fought in one war to defend this country. Okay? They are pulling out 6.3 billion for them. Let's be clear. These are the people who are the brothers and sisters of the people who went to war with the United States of America. And they are getting more tangibles, more resources than foundational Black Americans who built America. All right? And a lot of Negroes, y'all were out here before the election. Remember, Negroes were out here before the election putting the cape on for the immigrants. These Democratic Negroes. Now we got to look out for our brown brothers and sisters at the border now. Bucking their eyes. Ooh, Lord, we Black and brown coalition now. Well, there's Black immigrants too. That's what the Roland Martins were telling us. That's what some of these Negro minions were telling us. Hey man, we got to look out for the immigrants because there's Black immigrants too. And we like, listen, Negro, they have a quota on Black folks. No, now all immigrants, they come over here. Immigrants built this country. And we saw a couple weeks ago the same Negroes of immigrant lineage that voted to put Jim Crow Joe in there and Kamami Harris, because they ran that whole Kamami Harris is the daughter of immigrants, so she's looking out for Black immigrants. And boy, your Haitian brothers and sisters got stuck at that border and they pulled out the whips on them. They didn't allocate no billions of dollars to help them. No, they pulled out the whips and they allocated money to put gas in those planes to take them back to Haiti. Okay? And now the Black immigrants who voted for Biden or descendants of Black immigrants, boy, they're crying foul. No, 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 no. We need you to hold that L. Okay? But Jim Crow Joe is not done. Jim Crow Joe and Kamami Harris are not done, family. Because a story came out earlier this week, several articles, USA Today, I believe CNN had an article, a lot of Black publications released articles talking about how they're going to cut, right, Nine Nichols said it, how they're going to cut the HBCU budget down to $2 billion. And Negroes are crying foul. Some of these Democratic Negroes who will get up here, buck dancing, twerking, okay, talking about butter biscuits. You had the collard green Black Caucus. I believe they had a collard green caucus. This is a real organization who out here talking about vote for collard greens. Now they're crying foul. Oh, promises unfulfilled. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear that. For these Negroes, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nobody talking about promises unfulfilled. We told you what was going to happen when Jim Crow Joe got in office. We told you, and I've been telling you for the longest. I talked about it in Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1. I've talked about it on my page and then on other platforms. The Democrats and the Republicans are two veins on the same snake. Okay? They're two veins on the same snake. You dig? So now that 45 billion is not going to HBCUs how they portrayed it to be, because I told you that was a con game from the get-go, because in that contract they had minority institutions, which means 99% of that money was going to go to humpbacks, midgets, white women, everybody else. Okay? But HBCUs, y'all still talking about, oh, that was tangibles. So the question is, were the butter biscuits really worth it, family? Were the butter biscuits really worth it? And some of their Negro minions, they've been trying to come out here. Hold on, let me pull this up. Some of their Negro minions, they've been trying to come out here, 1 second, family, and do some explaining. Let me show you this video. Let me show you this video real quick. This is Roland Martin, because everybody's been coming after Rolly. Rolly's been, y'all pray for Roland Martin. He's been taking L's lately. Roland Martin's also of Haitian descent. So he did all that caping for the Mexicans at the border. But when his people came over, okay, they getting whipped. Now he did all that talk about how, you stupid fool, they're going to get money to HBCUs. He did all that eye bucking for Jim Crow Joe. And now they cutting the funds. So now he's out here explaining, family. Listen to this.
These public HBCUs. Victor, what is the truth? We had Leslie Baskerville on talking about it as well. I'm sure y'all have gotten phone calls on this. Was there ever $45 billion in a budget proposal or in a bill from the Biden administration, from Democrats, from Republicans to HBCUs?
No. So what the proposal was for.
So what they're trying to do now, family, they're trying to explain it. Now, remember, when brothers like myself, Brother Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth, Boyce Watkins, when we were saying before the election, be careful for these promises that say minority, people of color, minority institutions. Oh, we were Hoteppers then. Oh, you stupid fool. They just can't say it's specifically for black people, but we know black people going to get majority of the money. We're going to be most benefited by it. Now they're trying to use some of our talking points to say, well, it really went for us in the first place. That 45 billion really went for us. It was for minorities. Something we've been warning you about. The so-called Hotep niggas been warning you about that, and we were dismissed. So now they're trying to fall back on it to act like, well, he's really not breaking no promises. But let's continue.
For HBCUs and minority serving institutions means. HSIs, there are 569 of them. There are only 101 HBCUs. To give you an example of what some HSIs look like.
Hold on. Wait. You said HSI. What is that?
Hispanic Serving Institutions.
Lord.
Okay. That means.
So you said there are 101. You said. Hold on a second. Hold on. You said there are 101 HBCUs.
Correct.
500 and what? Hispanic Serving Institutions.
69 and growing. Okay. So to give you an example,
so 569, 101, that's 670.
Correct. But you also have tribal colleges. So we're only
right. The same thing Foundational Black America has been trying to tell you from day one. See, when we said that we want resources and tangibles specifically for foundational Black Americans, and on a greater scale specifically for Black people, protection laws that keep Black people specifically protected, we will call, oh, you Hotepper, they can't do that. Well, if they say minority, that's going to protect us. Now they're trying to fall back on it. Now they're trying to say, oh, well, It was really for everybody. That's what we told you in the first place when you Negroes were running around here talking about all this money finna go to HBCUs. We knew that was a lie. They're not finna give anything to HBCUs. And actually, he brings this donut head ass Negro on here, but he actually makes it worse. Just continue.
Getting a percentage of that money to begin with, okay? And to give you an example of what these HSIs look like, your alma mater, Texas A&M, is an HSI. So when Leslie was talking about,
are you serious?
I'm very serious. If you serve 25% at least Hispanic students, you are an HSI.
Oh, okay? Lord.
So for that money,
they're explaining now, family.
Proposed, and when Leslie was talking about decoupling earlier, this is what she was talking about. She was talking about, don't put HBCUs in the same pot to apply for this money against Texas A&M, University of Texas. Basically, the entire California system, they're all HSIs. Every school in Florida is an HSI, but they serve at least 25% Hispanic students.
Okay.
So basically, everybody's finna get some of that check that you Negroes put on the cake for. Okay? Basically, everybody's finna get that check. Something we told you. This is why foundational Black Americans, we were real specific with the language. This is why brothers like Ice Cube, who they dogged, okay? They dogged the Ice Cubes of the world. Oh, he was a Trump supporter. They used all those shaming tactics when he said this is a plan for Black America. We're not going to use minority and all this. Y'all were shaming him. But now you want to sit up here and act like, well, technically, we wasn't really supposed to get all that money because it was supposed to be Hispanic serving institutions, which is 500-600 of those. Understand, minority institutions, family, if you have a college with a lot of white women, they consider that minority institutions because they say women are minorities. Okay? So this was a con game from the get-go, and now they're trying to spin it and act like, oh, well, he's really not breaking no promises. Then why did you vote for him in the first place? Because remember, when he was talking all this HBCU crap, y'all were running around here with Kamami Harris taking pictures, talking about how much she finna do for HBCU. She gonna look out. She went to Howard. Okay? When y'all were doing all that, y'all were acting like they were finna just drop the bag off on HBCUs. Now you talking about the fine details. Some we were trying to tell you about from the get-go.